Welcome back, guys, to episode 7 of What's the Catch. We're joined once again by our co-host, Kyle Tice. What's going on, Kyle?
What's up, fans? What's up, Rocco? It's a pleasure to be back. I missed last episode. Rocco made it seem like it was the end of the world, but hey, we're back. So we're ready to go.
Just heads up. Next time, give me a little more time. Notice that you can't make the episode, and then we'll be fine. But anyway.
He gave me the cold shoulder all weekend. Thought I was going to quit the podcast.
Give me like 30 minutes notice. Sorry, can't make it. So I had to call up an old
He's
friend.
going on vacation.
Okay, whatever. But a lot of stuff happened this weekend. I mean, you called it pretty much. You can introduce it. You called it. You can introduce. Let's hear it.
All right. So, thanks for giving me credit. That's a man move out of you, giving me the credit where credit's due. I think in previous episodes, I said the Rams were probably not happy with Jared Goff because he was been mediocre at best. And what do? They go out and they get Matthew Stafford. Matt Stafford is their guy. They unloaded 2 first-rounders, 1/3, and Jared Goff for Matt Stafford. What do you think about this move?
I think it's the right move. I mean, I was high on Jared Goff. I was like, he's not a bad player. He's a great player, But honestly, at the end of the day, Matthew Stafford's better, and he could bring them to a Super Bowl. And I just think personally, if you want to make the Super Bowl and win, you need a high-level quarterback. Matthew Stafford has always been shunned upon in a way and looked down on because
never in the primetime games or anything in Detroit.
And that's because he's on the terrible team of Detroit. I mean, you put him on the Rams team with 2 of the best defensive players in the NFL, if not the best defensive player, with Aaron Donald. I think they got a very good shot. They already made it to the playoffs with Jared Goff on one thumb, so we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, and they always say, defense wins championships, and they only won 1 game with the best defense in the league. So there had to be something done on the offensive side of the ball. Matthew Stafford, I've always been high on Matthew Stafford. I think he's a great quarterback. You always see the Twitter stuff out there, like if Patrick Mahomes made this throw, it'd be everywhere. I've watched Matt Stafford highlights actually before this, and the guy's legit. So I think the Rams could get I don't know if they're a contender, like immediate contender, but this is a real good move for them. But they did unload a lot for the future.
I actually think the opposite. I think they are a contender because I thought they had a shot this year with Jared Goff. I think they have good wide receivers in Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. Kupp is a little injury prone, but he's solid. You got Tyler Higbee. You got Cam Akers as a running back. He's a force to be reckoned with. I mean, I just really think that the Rams defense can carry them in games if they can't put up as high enough numbers. But look at the Lions. They score a lot of points. And who's Matthew Stafford working with? Marvin Jones Jr.? You can't say Kenny Galladay. He played 4 games this year. So I think personally the Rams are contenders. And Tom Brady, if he stays, should be nervous. I mean.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the Rams cap situation looks like. I don't know if if you're familiar with it, but they should definitely go after one more offensive weapon. I think that definitely puts them over the edge going into next season. But, yeah, the Rams are contenders. But the Lions, I mean, if the Lions are in complete rebuild mode, this is the move. Like, they got 2 future first-rounders, a third-rounder this year. They get Jared Goff, an already proven quarterback. So Dan Campbell has pieces to work with. They were the Lions were like in kind of half rebuild mode. Matthew Stafford was kind of just rotting his career away over there. So to be able to go full in all rebuild, I think this is a good move for both sides.
I think that Jared Goff will be all right on the Lions. I think his career is pretty much over at this point. You go into the Lions.
They probably won't ever win playoff games, but they'll be good.
Yeah, he'll keep them in some games. Maybe, I mean, I just think his shot was with the Rams, and I don't see the Lions being contenders in the next few years. And maybe they'll move on. They'll move on, maybe. Who knows? But I think he's good. He'll be okay. They're going to get rid of Galladay. I don't think they re-sign Galladay. So I don't know about Marvin Jones.
You think Galladay?
I don't think the Rams have a lot of cap space, to be honest. I think they're doing –
Yeah, Galladay's asking for a lot.
And I think he's going to go to the Giants ultimately. But I think that the Lions need to do this. They need the first-round picks. When you're in rebuild mode, you need all the first-round picks you can get. And I actually saw a stat that the last time the Rams made a first-round draft pick, it was Jared Goff. And they won't have another one until 2023. So that's
it's like 7 years or something. 7
Yeah,
years of no first picks.
and they're still a great team. Like that just shows how if you can pick up the late round steals, you can be successful. Because look at the Rams. You could you have no first round draft picks, but
And they've
you
been
just get
consistently
round
good.
steals. Yeah, it's you get Jalen Ramsey, top corner. You get Matthew Stafford, who's a top QB in my opinion, top 10, top 7, and then I just think that the Rams will be good for years to come.
It's a different way of doing things, like what McVay and the general manager are doing, like trying to go out and get already proven guys for future picks. So they're kind of eliminating the risk, which it's something that we actually never seen before in the NFL.
Yeah,
Like they're waiting for guys to prove themselves, and then they're trading their future for those guys. So I don't know how long they'll be able to do it. I mean, if it backfires like 4 or 5 years down the road, then McVay will look like an idiot. But right now, he looks like a genius. He gets Matthew
I,
Stafford, that
I
West Coast
actually like
offense.
I like that strategy though because
You've never seen it before.
because it's like what we were saying in the last podcast with me and Egan. Like Beal. Beal's a proven guy. Trade your prospects for the proven guy if you think you're a championship team. Because draft picks are just risks in the end of the day. Like
Yeah.
you see so many busts in the world, and then if you get this proven star, it'll help you ultimately. Yeah, you might get a better player in the draft, but it's high risk, high reward. And I would rather the solid player in the end,
And
in
if
my
you're
opinion.
if you're not in rebuild mode, like it's professional sports, so windows close fast. Championship windows close super fast. So you gotta, like you said, with Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, you can't waste those years away. They're the number one defense. You gotta put a product on offense that could win championships. Bottom line.
Yeah. So who do you think won the trade?
Uh, there's two ways to look at it. I mean, obviously, if the Rams win the NFC the next 2-3 years, then it'll look like they won it. But
Mm-hmm.
maybe 6 years from now, the Lions are just a super team. You have
Yeah.
no idea. Right
Yeah.
now, it looks like the Lions won only because both of us are really high on Matthew Stafford. We think he's going to do great things. But this could really be a good kickstart for a future in Detroit. What
Yeah,
about you?
I think that the Lions probably won it because Matthew Stafford's old. I think, and they're really if they don't win now, it's like the Brooklyn Nets. If the Brooklyn Nets don't win now, I think it's a waste because you're just getting rid of your franchise for win now mode. And if you don't win, what's the point? The whole goal is to
Yeah,
win, and
you got to salvage the opportunities.
it's not
They
like
don't.
they
They
were
don't.
going after Deshaun Watson, who's young, and they could build off years and years and years. What does Matthew Stafford have left? 4 years, 5 years in the
Mhm.
NFL, if
So you got to
good.
win. You got to fix some things up.
Yeah, but I think in the end, it could be the right move. But like you said, time will tell for something like this. So I don't know. I think that the
It's not.
Lions right now probably won because Jared Goff is solid. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good, like, they just announced their head coach, Dan Campbell. He had that whole speech about biting
Oh
people's
yeah,
kneecaps off, being physical. So,
yeah,
like, it's kind of like putting your cards on the table. Dan Campbell, what are you going to do? You're going to have 2 picks in the first round, 2 years in a row. So they have stuff to rebuild, and it's a good position for a coach to be in coming in.
and I don't think the Lions drafted bad last year. Jeff Okuda obviously looked terrible, but it takes a couple of years for cornerbacks to really develop. I mean, one of the cornerbacks we really saw like instant development with was like Jalen Ramsey. Like his
Yeah,
first year in
he's a
the league, he was the
generational
best
talent.
corner. He was the best corner in the league. But I think Jeff Okuda, with time, he'll be better, and he will be one of the top corners. I think that not having training camp, doing all virtual, he had a little bit of injuries, really affects him. And the Lions also drafted DeAndre Swift. I mean, they had to stop drafting a bunch of running backs. I think on Johnson was fine, but DeAndre Swift is very good too. So I think the Lions can build and with these picks become a very good team. Make some free agent signings, make a splash or two. But if they could keep Galladay as well, that'd be very good for Jared Goff.
Yeah, and like your point about Akuda, NCAA speed and NFL speed, it's two completely different categories. So he does Jalen Ramsey. That's something that happens once every couple corners. Like a lot of corners that get drafted. That doesn't happen very often. So
No, yeah.
time will tell. Akuda, I'm sure he'll be fine. He was highly rated on the prospect list for a reason.
I mean, yeah. The only reason people are like worried, number 3 pick in the draft.
Yeah,
Okay,
number 3 is big third corner.
number 3 is pretty big, but they see like we saw sparks of Jeff Okuda being great, but he just has to get used to the NFL speed, like you said. So I think the Lions could be decent in years to come, but they're in full rebuild. And did you see Matthew Stafford said he doesn't want to go to the Patriots anywhere? Do you think Matt Patricia
Yeah,
really
he
screwed him?
hates Matt Patricia, dude.
I mean,
That's insane.
that's pretty
Wait,
funny though.
fun little tidbit. Did you see this?
What?
McVay and Stafford were both conveniently in Cabo at the same time, and then they had dinner after the deal was done.
Oh wow! I mean, you think a
I
little
saw
bit
that.
of collusion.
I
I
know, a
mean,
little collusion in the NFL. I saw
I
that, but
mean,
like,
he probably knew they were gonna get him anyways at that
yeah,
point. And I
how
bet you,
weird
like,
would it
yeah, imagine he didn't get him. He signed
be?
with
Yeah,
someone else, and they were out to dinner.
in Cabo.
No, like they were at the dinner table together, and then the breaking news just comes out. He's like, "Oh my god, we got him!" And then it says like Stafford to the 49ers or something.
And then McVay has to pick up the tab. Stafford just walks out. That's
I mean, we'll see though. I mean, leading into the next segment, I mean, what does this do for Deshaun Watson? What does this do for his value?
uh, I mean, it puts an unlimited price tag on Deshaun Watson. There's not been many times in NFL history where multiple first round picks have been traded and then also a third rounder. So Watson, they probably whatever the limit is for picks, I think they're gonna get for him and a starting quarterback.
I mean, and you gotta think Stafford's 33.
Yeah,
33, right?
Watson just threw for the most passing yards in the league, and
And
he's
he's
20,
25. I thought
25, yeah.
he might be. He's one of them. It's still ridiculously
He's in the
young.
vicinity.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like we talk about Watson every episode because we have to, though. Come on, it's the
It's an
biggest.
everlasting saga. I mean, it's just
Like,
more tweets come out every
yeah.
single week.
Like this is going to be one of the biggest moves in NFL history because like you see like the players saying free Deshaun out, like Houston, like people are saying like there's no longer the owners have the power, the players are going to have the power, and Watson gets to choose pretty much where he goes if they do accept the trade. So Watson can choose. I mean, I saw a tweet that said they want 2 first round picks, 2 second round picks, 2 defensive starters. I don't know who's given that. That's a lot though.
Yeah, I mean, knowing the Texans front office, they probably could. They might end up trading Watson for like a bag of Skittles and some lost of 40-year-old safety.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think he's worth? Really?
Realistically, I'd say, what's the cap on first rounders that you can get rid of?
I don't know. I
If
think
allowed, I'd say 3 first rounders and a starting quarterback. That's
okay. I would say 3 first rounders and a second and a third.
a second, and so just 5 straight picks, no players. I mean,
Yeah,
the-
I don't think any team's gonna give a starting quarterback unless it's the Jets and Darnold or San Fran and Jimmy G.
yeah, agreed.
So I think he's worth a lot, but it's do you want to risk it? And we've talked about this many times. I think he's worth the risk. But if they're asking for 2 defensive starters, 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, I don't know if that's worth it. Depends what you
Some
trade.
teams would do that too.
Yeah, it depends what you trade, how high your picks are, and so on. But we'll see with Deshaun Watson. I mean, that's really the biggest thing in sports news. We got the Super Bowl coming up.
Yeah, we'll detail that probably in a
Yeah.
future episode. But I'm
Yeah,
riding.
next
I'm riding with the
episode.
early
Oh
early
wow.
pick. I'm airing it out. I'm taking Brady.
Oh jeez. You didn't learn. You didn't learn. Patrick Mahomes.
Second straight week going against Patrick Mahomes.
This one's tougher though. I mean, you chose the fraud Josh Allen the week before, but Tom Brady's no fraud. And I mean, I don't want to say my pick, but I'm pretty sure I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but the way, like, you know how you're saying Josh Allen's a fraud? You know how I look at that AFC in the future? Kind of
Yeah.
like I see Mahomes as like the Tom Brady, and then I
Yeah.
see Josh Allen as like the Peyton Manning. You know, he'll get his wins,
Yeah.
he'll win his Super Bowl, but this era is gonna be dominated by Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm obviously kidding. I don't really think Josh Allen's a fraud, but I just think, wow, Mahomes is going to dominate this league for years, and it's
For
not
you.
even going to be close. Like Watson's great. Like who else? Brady's great. Brady's old though. Rogers is great, but I just think they have nothing on Mahomes. I really
We've never
do.
seen anything like Mahomes. I mean, it'd be so sick to see him be this consistent his whole career. It'd be kind of boring at a point because
Yeah, you could.
the media
Yeah,
loves him, they hype him up all the time, but this is something like we've never seen before.
like even look at it. Like we got Lamar Jackson, one of the most dynamic players in NFL history, and he's shadowing Patrick Mahomes. That's how good Patrick Mahomes is. Like Lamar's not the best passer, but he's not terrible, and he's one of the best running quarterbacks, if not the best in NFL history. And he's
Yeah,
behind Mahomes in everything. You know,
yeah,
like
and we were just saying stuff we've never seen before in the NFL. We've never seen a quarterback play like Lamar Jackson, just in the running game. I mean, his pro comparison is probably Mike Vick. Mike Vick had a
yeah,
really good arm though, but Lamar's so lethal for a quarterback running the football, and his whole career is going to be completely overshadowed by being in the same conference as Mahomes.
yeah, and the Ravens are always a great organization and stuff. And like Lamar has a chip on his shoulder, being the last drafted quarterback in the class, picked 32 overall. I mean, obviously he has a chip. He just like pushed the narrative that he couldn't win a playoff game, and then now he has to get to the next level, and he has to beat Mahomes because people are like, Mahomes is Lamar's daddy, and it's like
Yeah,
it's true. Every time the Chiefs play the Ravens, they stomp all over them. I mean, the Chiefs have incredible weapons. I mean, Tyreek Hill got disrespected by DK and Justin Jefferson for not being on their top 5 wide receivers list. I think Tyreek Hill is arguably the second best wide receiver in the league,
I'd
personally.
I'd mess around and I'd put Travis Kelsey on that top 5 list too. Even I'd put him as
Yeah,
a receiver because of how dynamic he is. He's open every single play. You can't guard him with a linebacker. You can't guard him with a safety. You can't guard him with anything.
Travis Kelsey is better than Kittle. Kittle's a beast.
Yeah,
Kittle's a beast.
no,
But
Kittle's
Travis
more of your
Kelsey,
standard tight end though. Kelsey's like
Travis Kelsey
crazy.
is incredible in the receiving game. I mean, Kittle is incredible too, but Kittle is better, maybe a better blocker. But I just think Kelsey obviously has a better quarterback going to him. If we put Kittle on the Chiefs, I think he'll probably be the same. But I just think
Yeah,
there's something about Kelsey that
the
makes
way
him.
he
He gets
runs the
open.
ball.
He gets open every play. Every
It seems
play
like he
he's
runs
open.
that button hook route over the middle,
Yeah,
literally every play, and he
every
turns it up.
play. And then you have Tyreek Hill running all over the place. I mean, McCole Hardman. That's why I think that if the Chiefs somehow keep this team like alive for as long as they can, I don't see them losing in any time, like anytime
All
soon.
about the money though. Money talks. So
Yeah,
one of those guys can leave anytime.
money does talk, but what
All right.
if you were in the NFL? What do you want? Money or rings? Like,
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. Guaranteed Super Bowls are pretty cool, so I'd probably take that.
yeah, come on. I mean, think about it. Like guaranteed Super Bowls. Come on.
Oh my God, playing behind Patrick Mahomes must be amazing as a teammate.
Yeah, I mean,
All
even
right.
just
Well,
being
I think we're
back.
leading on. We're definitely leading on a little bit too much. We're gonna have a Super Bowl preview. So yeah, we're gonna introduce a segment to this podcast. All right.
Yeah,
We're gonna
segments.
do it. We're gonna do it every single episode. Maybe one segment, maybe 2 segments. You don't know. We'll surprise you on the day it comes out. But this segment's gonna be called Big Threes. So we're just gonna be picking topics and we're gonna give our top 3 in that aspect. So today we got for Big Threes, we got biggest busts in sports history and the Big 3 best appetizers to order out to dinner.
Okay, yeah, just a reference. These big threes don't have to be necessarily revolving sports. You know, we want you guys to know like more personality style of us. And we don't want everything to be sports. Obviously, it's a mainly sports podcast, but we're gonna bring in other things. So
Yeah,
like
it'll sound
Kyle
like a
said,
broken record if we just keep talking sports.
yeah,
So
how many times are we gonna talk about Deshaun Watson? Come on.
pretty much every episode until he gets traded.
Yeah. All right. So you could start off.
All right, we're gonna lead off with the Big 3 of busts in pro sports history.
Okay.
So right off the bat, my first pick, Johnny Manziel.
Okay. Why Johnny?
Johnny Manziel, Heisman career, drafted. I mean, he slipped in the first round, but like everyone just expected him to be Johnny Football. And on the Browns, he folded, didn't have a good career, lost his passion for football, just overall probably a bust in my mind.
I mean, Johnny Manziel really went downhill. I mean,
Yeah, his whole life just went.
Money Manziel. What can we say? I mean, didn't he start playing in like the Canadian Football League with Trent Richardson or something?
Yeah, and then he's doing this like fan controlled league. So like I think the fans could pick plays and stuff like that. It'll be interesting. But you want to
Okay.
do this pick for pick? So like
Yeah,
you
pick for pick.
yeah.
All right. I'm going to take, as my first bus, Darko Milicic. I mean, come on. You got to take him. He's taking over Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony. D Wade. I mean, that draft class was stacked. And I think if you put Carmelo on the Trailblazers, they're a much better team. I mean,
He was the
I
second
don't.
pick.
Yeah, second pick.
Okay,
So I think you have to put him as one of the biggest busts.
that's a little off the board. I don't have him on my list, but
Okay.
definitely that's a good take. I mean, I like that for sure. All right,
Okay.
next one. I'll go. Staying in the NBA, I'll go Greg Oden. Drafted over Kevin Durant, plagued by injuries, granted, but Greg Oden was the next big thing. Ohio State, first overall pick. And then it was between him or KD, back and forth, and then the Trailblazers ended up settling for Greg Oden, and it just totally didn't pan out. And KD's still playing to this day, top 5 player in the NBA. So just missing that opportunity, missing that boat, puts him on my list.
Yeah, you gotta think anyone taking over KD is a bust.
Pretty
KD is
much,
one
yeah.
of the most dominant players in the NBA and will be for years to come. So my second pick, I know you love this guy, Tim Tebow.
Oh,
He's
come on.
he won a
He won,
playoff game,
he
whatever.
won a playoff game.
Whatever. I don't care. He won a playoff game. I was looking at his stats, 47% completion. Come on,
Sounds like me in high school.
that's terrible. I mean, he was probably one of the best college football players of all time.
Oh, best of
So
all time.
so you got a lot of hype coming in for him, and then that's what he does. I think it's a bust. He won a couple of playoff games, but I just expect more from him.
I respect that just because like coming out of college he was the best ever, but he got screwed. They took Peyton Manning, they traded him, kicked him to the curb. But that's a good pick. Big brain move by you.
Yeah, I know you love him, so
All
we'll
right,
see.
last one. Surprised you didn't take this one actually. I'm gonna go Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, I knew one of us was gonna say it. I mean,
Jamarcus Russell coined the best quarterback, was going to be the best quarterback ever, pretty much. That's what everyone was hyping out to be. Guy just came out. He was a square on the field. He was terrible. And he had a big arm. He could throw the ball probably out of any NFL stadium. But he didn't pan out ever. He was on the Raiders. I mean, he was just a bust. There's really nothing else to say for it. He was when people say biggest bust in NFL history,
everyone says
Jamarcus Russell is on the
Yeah,
list.
everyone says Jamarcus. Okay,
I think.
so
Wait. Sorry. Funny story.
you go.
All right. Funny story about Jamarcus Russell. So
Okay.
I heard this one. I don't know who said it, but they said they handed him a CD, right,
Mhm.
with all the They said, oh, here's all the offensive plays, like for tomorrow's practice. Go home and watch it, right? So he leaves the practice facility, goes home, comes back next day. The offensive coordinator goes, how was that? Did you like what we're installing? He goes, yeah, it was great. Like, I'm so excited to run it today in practice. It was a blank disc. There was nothing on it.
Oh my God, that's pretty that's pretty fun.
Definition of bust right there.
Yeah, obviously he wasn't focused on the right things. But I'm gonna stay in the NFL. I don't think you were expecting this one. I'm gonna go number 3 overall. Can you guess? 2006.
No.
Vince Young.
All right. Word. I was back and forth between Vince Young and Jamarcus Russell. Word.
Vince Young was also one of the greatest college football players at Texas. I mean, he was amazing. He didn't do terrible in the NFL, but he just was never like he never focused, and they just weren't winning enough, in my opinion. So I would have to put him as one of the biggest busts. I mean,
Yeah,
you go number 3 overall. You're expected to win a lot. You're one of the greatest college football players. You're expected to win a lot. So I personally put him in my big 3 of biggest busts.
I like that pick a lot. I mean, to label him bust, you just got to look at that, rewatch that game when he beat USC, and then you just see how much was expected out of him. He single-handedly won a national championship, and then he just didn't pan out in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. We see it all the time. That's why we're doing the segments, biggest bust. It's all opinion based, but we agree. I mean, it's very hard
Yeah,
to not agree.
all respectable picks.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so we have one more segment today. Kyle
Look,
can
segue.
introduce it. What's the segment for today?
All right, the big 3 of appetizers. So pretty much, this is gonna be you go to the table with your buddies. Me and Rocco, we're going to Applebee's with our boys.
Yeah.
What are we gonna get? This is
Okay.
this is the top 3 favorites, fan favorites, generic. Everyone loves them. This is what we're gonna get.
You could
All
go
right,
first.
you lead this one off. I led the
All
last
right.
one.
All right. I have to go. It's a classic. Everyone eats it. I gotta go wings. Gotta go wings. Any flavor counts. I
You going
personally go with the
going
buffalo.
out?
Ooh, if it's a night with the boys, probably bone in. I'll go bone in because
Respect.
I'll go, but buffalo. It has to be buffalo sauce, in my opinion. But I know you like honey barbecue. I'm pretty sure it
Yeah,
is.
I'm a little soft in that aspect. I like
Yeah,
little sweetness, the honey barbecue.
yeah. But I'm going wings number 1 overall.
Side note, Rocco probably eats wings faster than anybody I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh yeah, no, he's not kidding. I eat so fast. It's actually like disgusting how fast I eat.
Oh God! All right, next one. My first pick: pigs in a blanket. If pigs in a
Really?
blanket are offered, you gotta get them. They're the holy grail of appetizers, in my opinion. What's better? You get a little croissant wrapped in a hot dog, get a little ketchup, get a little mustard going. Nothing better than pigs in a blanket.
Yeah, no, pigs in a blanket are great. It's just I don't really know places that sell them. I
All
really
right.
just yeah, no, I know what you mean. I when I see them at a party, oh, I'm getting the pigs in the
Yeah, I'd say
blanket.
like the little mini ones at the party. Everyone
Oh,
loves them.
come, those are the best. But no, I definitely agree with that one. All right, so number 2, I'm gonna go another like finger foodish thing. I'll go nachos. Gotta have nachos. I mean, come on, amazing food. I don't know what really to say about it. You have a
Yeah.
preference of nachos, chicken or like beef or chili? Do you care?
I, chicken nachos. I'm
Really?
yeah. I like chicken. I like when they put the cheese, the queso. I'm
Oh,
not
come on.
a huge fan of like when they throw the onions on there, the tomatoes.
Really?
I'm basic, Just throw the cheese, the chicken, the queso, and a nacho, and I'm good.
Okay. I respect it.
But that nachos fan favorite. Can't go wrong with those.
Yeah.
Everyone eat. All right, so this one gonna be a little off the board here. We're going potato skins.
Okay.
Potato
Why
skins.
potato skins?
I shouldn't even have to explain this. You get cheese and potato with bacon on it, and then forget about it when they got good sour cream on the side. Potato skins. If I didn't think I had to take pigs in a blanket, potato skins would have been my number 1. Absolutely to die
Okay.
for whenever you go out.
I agree. I agree. I think it's a good list so far.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
got it.
for my third one. This is a little different. I'm g- I'm gonna go with quesadillas.
Quesadillas.
I'm gonna go quesadillas. I'm a big fan of chicken quesadillas. A huge fan of chicken quesadillas. So if they're at the place, I'm gonna order them. I really enjoy a good chicken quesadilla. So I'll personally take that as my third option.
I like the chicken quesadilla call. That
Yeah,
you can't go
no,
wrong with this. I mean,
yeah,
nothing
come
wrong
on.
with the chicken quesadilla. All right. Last pick. I'm pretty. I might have to give an honorable mention pick after this because
We can
going
do
back.
that.
I got calamari on as my last pick.
Oh, okay.
So the whole time I've been picturing us eating at Applebee's with these
Yeah,
appetizers. Calamari,
that's
you
what I
probably
thought.
you can't eat at Applebee's, but any good Italian spot, calamari's
Oh,
so good.
okay. Well, if we're doing that, I gotta put mussels on there. Mussels are the best appetizer at a time. Oh, what the? Mussels are the best Italian appetizer.
Are
In
you gonna
my,
crucify me if I say that I've never had mussels?
I mean, you got it. Next time we go out, we gotta try one. I
All
mean,
right, I'm in.
mussels are very good. But yeah, what's your honorable mention?
Honorable mention, I had chicken tenders, but like I kept going back and forth that they were like too much of an entree, but they're always on
Okay.
the appetizer menu. But
Yeah,
I like chicken tenders. Gotta go with those.
yeah. I mean, so that's a new segment of the big threes. So
Yeah, I mean, let us know like topics, stuff that you'd like to put. I mean, to do big threes on. We like doing them. They're fun. They changed up the mojo of the podcast a little bit. So
yeah, so you guys could tweet us, comment. We have YouTube, we have Spotify. You can find us on all platforms. But other than that, another great episode, and glad to have you back on the show, buddy.
oh, nothing better than being back on. What's the catch?
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, peace.